today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you from Central Europe. I hope everybody is having a great week so far. In this class, we are looking at a reading section, answering some tricky questions, a list of headings, and some other question types. Hi, Tito. Nice to see you in class. This is a members chat class. Everybody is welcome to watch. We will have an all chat class coming up in 90 minutes. To become a member of our channel, you simply have to click the join button beside the subscribe button and then pick the package that's right for you. If you don't see the join button, let me know by email and I'll give you some more instructions. While we wait for some more of our members to join in, this lesson is presented to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS help. Check us out there. And for general IELTS, check us out at gieltshelp.com. On both of our websites, we have loads of materials to help you improve and get those higher band scores. We have over 100 hours of video lessons for all the sections, a fully interactive course, and original practice exams. Hi, Madhu. Nice to see you in the class. I see you're a fairly new member as well. So again, students, if you haven't checked out our apps, you can get our apps, Academic IELTS Help and General IELTS Help. From your app stores, you can link the apps to your web accounts. Hi, Elena. Hi, Sam. Nice to see more students in the class. For those of you who have questions, you can send me an email to adrian@aehelp.com and I will gladly get back to you as soon as I can, usually within 24 hours. You can also get our books, our exam books from Amazon in digital or paperback versions. They will definitely help with these classes because these are the books that we use in these live classes, especially the academic ones. So AE Helps Academic IELTS, that's the title that you should search for on Amazon. For general, you should search for GE Helps General IELTS. So today, reading right now, and then this will be followed by listening parts 1 and 2 for an all chat class. Hi, Boomy. All right, so let's get into today's reading passage. So this is reading passage 2 coming from test number 1. And here we have our list of headings question. Now, before you read the list of headings question, even though it comes before the passage, so this is the only question type that comes before the passage. Do you know why? Members, why does this question come before the passage? Every other question comes after the passage, but this one, it comes before. Anybody knows why? You should read the title, first of all. So, seismic shifts, silent drifts. What could that mean? I'm not sure. If I don't know these words, it's just a guessing game. So then I will go back to my list of headings question. The reason list of headings questions are before the passage is because the examiners want you to read this question before the passage, okay? The idea here is to read the question before the passage, all right? So here's a first tip. We're going to talk a little bit about list of headings questions. So, list of headings strategy. Number 1, read these before the passage as they will help you with the passage. The examiners put these questions before the passage because they want you to read them first. Okay? Now, importantly, You must paraphrase these list of headings as you read them, okay? Because that's how you will see the answers. So, questions and answers are all about paraphrasing, okay? You should not try to skim or scan or search for the same words as found in the questions. That can be misleading. Sometimes you'll find the information in different places, and it won't work for for many questions, okay? So what we want to do is we want to read these, and then as we read them, we want to paraphrase them. Okay? All right. So, how can I paraphrase this first choice? So, violent eruptions, magma, lava, new islands. What's another way to say all of this information? There's actually one word that can paraphrase this. This is descriptive. So all of these words describe one word. What is that word? Can anybody tell me? And if you've seen this passage before, maybe give some of the other students a chance. Okay, so don't jump the gun. So Elena says maybe an earthquake. Not a bad guess, Elena. Saminder says maybe a volcano. I think a volcano here is a little bit more accurate simply because of magma and lava, right? So volcano. Yeah, absolutely. Volcano. That's a good one. Madhu says volcanic activity. Yeah, that's good too. Okay. The destruction of Pompeii. Well, if anybody knows the famous story of Pompeii in Italy, what is today Italy, at that time it was Rome, then you would paraphrase this as the demise of a city, of an ancient city. Okay, so here I'm doing the descriptive paraphrasing for Pompeii. Demise is like destruction, it's the end. So destruction, demise, they're very similar. Pompeii was an ancient city in what is today Italy, so that's how you can paraphrase it. Okay. Two continents become many. Okay. How can I paraphrase that? So what can I say about two continents become many? Again, when you're practicing this type of question at home, you should write it down on paper like I'm doing right now. And then in the exam, you have to do it in your head because you don't have a lot of time. But to do it quickly in your head, you have to practice at home. It helps you to learn vocabulary. Okay? So Mahesh says, because of destruction, land parts separated and became countries. I don't know about that, Mahesh. Careful. Countries are imaginary lines made up by humans. Nature doesn't quite follow the same rules. Okay. So Hemant says, splitting of two continents into multiple land masses. And you can count that, Hemant. So splitting two continents into many land masses. Yeah, and you might even be more specific, Hemant. So you might say something like splitting two continents into, and maybe here we're doing a little bit of guessing, into North and South America, Asia, Europe. Okay, so those would be the many continents, right? Because here, when you have the word many finish a phrase, it usually means that it's a repeat of that noun. So two continents become many continents. Splitting two supercontinents into North, South America, Asia, Europe, Australia, Africa, Antarctica, Okay, so that's how I would paraphrase that. Again, practice accurate paraphrasing. Okay. All right, so we keep going in this way and we paraphrase as best we can for all of these different list of headings. Okay, now keep in mind that here we're dealing with list of headings. Okay, it's not list of information. Okay, so it's not a list of information, it's a list of headings. What does that mean in this question, list of headings? So what is that actually referring to? Why is this question list of headings and not list of information? What is this important word doing here? What is that telling you? Can anybody give me that information? And I'll take a note on it while you type it into the chat. Okay. So Haman says it's the title given to the information in the paragraph. So Haman says it indicates what the crux is. Roshni says the content of it. Madhu says it's the overview of each paragraph. Okay, I'm still missing one key word here, actually, students. The best way to paraphrase it is still missing. The best way to paraphrase this word, headings, is it's the... What's the missing word here? I gave you the first letter. It's the what of each paragraph. Boomy says the gist, but there is just as a little bit of a slang, Boomy. There's a more accurate way, but you're right. You're in the right path. But what's the actual proper academic word that we're looking for here? It starts with an S. Once I give it to you, you're going to say, aha. Very good, Saminder, Tito. It's the subject of each paragraph. Okay? Very, very good. So the subject of each paragraph. The subject, not synonyms, Madhu, not summary, the subject. Okay? So let's take a note on that. Okay? Remember, list of headings means that you are looking for the title, the topic, the subject of each paragraph, and not just details or examples. Okay, that's really important. Lots of times students will lose marks because they skim or scan the passage, they find some matching words, and then they go, oh, okay, that's what this paragraph is about, but it's really not. It's just an explanation or a detail. It's not actually the subject. So again, skimming and scanning is a very weak strategy for this type of question, okay? So skim reading is a very weak strategy for this type of question. Does that make sense? Because answers are paraphrased and details can be misleading. Okay, I hope that does that make sense, members? So does it make sense why, again, skim reading is quite a weak strategy? You do actually have to read for this, okay? All right. We go back here. Now I'm going to do a little bit of faster paraphrasing, just mentally, verbally. So fossil evidence, clues given by bones of dinosaurs, adjacent continents, continents which are next to each other, or land masses which are next to each other, an intuitive notion. Anybody, can you give me a quick paraphrase for intuitive notion? I'll go to the next one meanwhile. Ring of Fire, that's the Pacific rim of Asia and North America, some of South America as well. The invisible threat, the unseeable danger, okay? The danger that we cannot see. Gondwana comes together. Gondwana unites. Okay, this is a kind of a phrasal verb. You could say that as unites or unite. Okay, a hypothesis of unity and disunity, a theory of joining and splitting apart. Okay. Hemant, that's fantastic. You got 9 in your reading on your IELTS exam. That's superb. All right, so anybody, an intuitive notion? What would that be? It's another way to say that. A mechanism to match the theory is found. The system which explains the hypothesis is discovered. So again, that would be the fast mental paraphrasing. Okay. Intuitive kind of means logical. Okay. So an intuitive notion means a logical idea. Okay, that would be an intuitive notion. Elena, not bad. Insightful is okay as well. Insightful idea. A notion is just an idea. Okay, intuitive is something that makes sense. All right, so it's an idea like that. All right, so again, in the reading, this paraphrasing should only take you about 30 seconds at most. All right, now these questions, these list of headings questions, you really want to get them correct because they will help you with other questions. Okay, so list of headings questions will help with other questions as long as you get them right. Okay, number 1 here, or A, answer these list of heading questions as you read, okay? Meaning after each paragraph, right? And then we'll do this together, and I'll show you the strategy of how to do it. So we're going to read now, and we'll do this together. So let's start with paragraph A. Okay, here we go, students. So seismic shifts, silent drifts. And again, students, practice reading aloud, okay? So use your loud voice and visualize. Try to see the information that you're reading, okay? Read with me. So read, okay? Reading is one of the most important exercise that you must do when you're preparing for your exam. So here we go. When looking at a map of the world, it is natural to notice that Africa and South America seem to be able to fit together as if they are parts of a former whole. It was this insight which led Flemish cartographer Abraham Ortelius in 1596 to put forward for the first time the idea that at one period the continents were in different places than they are today. It would take over 300 years for the theory to be fully developed, and 50 years after that for the mechanism of the phenomenon to be discovered. So I read the paragraph, I visualized it, and now to answer the question, what I need to do is ask, what is this introductory paragraph about? So that's my question, and now I want to answer that. What is this introductory paragraph about? In a simple way, using maybe only 4, maximum 5 words, how would you summarize this paragraph? Or, as we discussed earlier, what is the subject of this paragraph? What are we talking about? Okay, so what are we reading about? So what is this introductory paragraph about? What is your answer, students? What do you think? What do you think? What is this paragraph about? Hemant says It's about a theory that continents were together at some point in time. Okay, not bad, Haman. Try to say that even in a shorter way. So again, try to say it in 4 or 5 words, okay? Elena says how 2 continents became one. I don't think so, Elena. I don't think it says that. Parmar says Africa, South America seem to fit. Okay. Boomy says 2 continents maybe became many as we see today. Okay. What I would say is it's a logical understanding of continents. Right? That's what I would say. It's a logical understanding of continents. That would be my understanding. Rodrigo, idea and theory of tectonic plates. I think it's too much detail. Okay? If we look at the paragraph, students, so let's have a look again together. So when looking at the map of the world, it's natural to notice that Africa and South America seem to be able to fit together. So when you read this sentence, you should be picturing yourself looking at a map and being like, look at that. Those 2 continents, they just fit together. That makes sense. That looks right. It looks like 2 pieces of a puzzle. Boop, they fit together. So that's what you should be seeing. Okay? Like as if they were 2 parts of a formal whole, like as if before they were one piece. Okay? It was this insight. A couple of you used the word insight, paraphrasing the list of headings. Remember that. Okay? It's put forward the first time the idea that at one time continents were in different places. Okay? So, let's hop back to the list of headings. And now I want to see which of these choices match my answer the closest. Okay? So if my answer was, it looks like this paragraph is about a logical idea for continents to fit together, which one of these matches my answer the closest? Okay? What do you think? Which one of these matches mine the closest? Yeah, VI, an intuitive notion, right? It's a logical idea. Again, that picture of me looking at a map of the world and seeing the continents fit together. It's a logical idea, okay? So don't overthink it. So then we indicate VI on the answer key like this. It's an intuitive notion. And we go to the next question. Okay? So let's read B and then repeat. So it was, again, read with me, students, read with me. So it was not until 1915 that German geologist Alfred Wegener proposed the continental drift theory, which states that the Earth's crust is made up of many sections that float slowly over the molten mantle and core of the Earth. Wegener argued in the past the continents were all stuck together. He called this supercontinent Pangaea, which is Greek for all Earth. Wegener hypothesized that approximately 200 million years ago, this supercontinent began to break up and the pieces began to move away from each other. Okay, what is this paragraph about? So the next one, the question is, what is paragraph B, the first body paragraph, about? So what is this body paragraph about? What are we reading about here, members? So here I'm picturing this scientist. Maybe I'm his research assistant, this German guy, Alfred Wegener. Here's my buddy Alfred. Hi, Alfred. What's going on? Oh, you had a great idea today? Fantastic. What's your great idea? Oh, your idea is to explain why there are continents and why they are the places that they are. Okay, so what is this paragraph about? Ruslan says all the continents were stacked together with each other. Hemant says details of the theory of continental drift, which was coined and hypothesized. Okay. Roshni says a scientist proposes a theory, right? So don't go into too much detail, Roshni. Just keep it simple. A scientist proposes a theory. My supervisor, or the researcher, the head researcher in the lab says, hey guys, I got an idea about this, all right? Okay, so a theory to explain the appearance or the order or organization or location of continents, right? So that's what I think this paragraph seems to be about. So which one of these matches the closest to Alfred Wegener's idea of, hey guys, I think all of these continents were one big thing in 200 million years ago, and now they're all these little continents. Okay, little, of course they're huge, but little compared to that supercontinent. So which one is the closest to this theory? Rodrigo says X. It's a hypothesis of unity and disunity. Yeah, whose hypothesis? Alfred Wegener's, the German scientist's hypothesis of, yeah, I think all these continents were one big continent, and now they're little continents. So luckily, this is the answer that's given for us, X. So we see it there. When you're doing practice exams, students, try to cover up the given answer, okay? This is just a little extra hint. If you can get that one correct, okay, then you know you're on the right path. Even in your actual exam, I kind of suggest covering up this answer. So try to do it in a way, I know it's tricky, but try to do it in a way, if you see a list of headings, immediately cover up the example to check and see if you're on the right path. Does that make sense? You might see it before you can cover it up, but give it a try anyway, okay? So the key to these list of headings questions is after, and this is very important, after you come up with your own concise answer, find the matching answer. Don't expect for the correct answer to jump out at you from the list of headings. Okay? So that's one of the big mistakes that a lot of students make is they don't think about the answer on their own. They don't think, what is this paragraph about? They just read it, and then they quickly look at the list of headings and hope that one of them will pop out and go, oh yeah, that's the one. Do any of you do that, or have you done that in the past, where you just read the paragraph or skim read the paragraph, and then you look right away at the list of headings without thinking what the paragraph is about, and then just hope that it jumps out at you, the answer, like it'll pop out and go, oh, that's the one. But that doesn't work. Okay, have you done that in the past? Be honest, students. Okay, because that's not an effective strategy. So that's one of the biggest mistakes students make with list of headings and with multiple choice answers. Okay, so it's a very, very dangerous technique because, again, the brain doesn't work that way. If you let the brain try to choose or go the easy route, it will, and it will make mistakes. Okay, you have to make your brain work. All right? So don't do that. Okay, you have to think first, then choose. All right? So think first, then choose. Okay? Does that make sense? Super important. All right? Yeah, unfortunately, it won't save you time. You'll actually lose marks, right, Roshni, in the end. So it's ironically not effective. Okay, so let's keep going here. with paragraph C. So we're going to pick up a little bit of speed, and then we'll see how we do. Okay? All right, Elena, let's do this, and hopefully you'll struggle less by the end of it. Okay, C. Read with me. Initially, Pangaea divided into two parts, named Laurasia and Gondwana. Laurasia consisted of what is today North America, Asia, and Europe, whilst Gondwana comprised modern-day South America, Africa, and Australia. These supercontinents eventually split apart further, resulting in today's continental configuration. It is interesting to note that today's continental alignment is just that. Millions of years in the future, the Earth's continents will appear very different. Given enough time, it is possible that the Earth's land masses will return to a Pangaea-like unified state. So, what is this paragraph about? What is the main subject of this paragraph? What does it visually represent for the most part? Give me the answer, students. So, what is paragraph C about? Answer. So Tito says one becomes many. Yes. Okay, Tito, not bad. It's two continents become many. Because Tito, remember that the one, Pangaea, actually just becomes two, right? So that's what's kind of like, oh yeah, one eventually becomes many, but before it becomes many, it becomes two, right? So Pangaea divides into, what was it, Laurasia and Gondwana. And then these ones divide, I can't remember which one into which, but these divide into North, South America, Antarctica, and so on. So the other ones. So Pangaea only divides into two. Don't forget this step. And these two divide into the today's 7 continents, right? So careful, Tito, not to miss these steps, because I think you jumped from Pangaea directly to today's continents. But remember, there are these two supercontinents in the past. Okay, so let's not jump that one. All right. Okay. So two continents become many. Or we could say one continent becomes two, then the two become many. Right? That would be my answer. Okay. So one continent becomes two, then the two become many. All right. What is the closest match? So students, what's the closest match here for this one? What's the closest match? Yeah, absolutely. It's number 3, right? Two continents become many. That's the main focus of this. Absolutely. Okay. So I indicate I on my answer sheet. Two continents become many. I'm confident, and then that's great. Okay, let's keep practicing. So let's go to paragraph D. Okay. The evidence for continental drift is plentiful. The most common evidence is the discovery of the same type of dinosaurs in extremely different locations. The same type of dinosaur fossil will be found in northeastern parts of South America as well as northwestern parts of Africa. The logical explanation for phenomenon such as this is that at one time, these parts of the world were not only connected, but adjacent. Okay, what is paragraph D about? I think many of you will answer that paragraph D is about proof of continental drift resulting from dinosaur bones. Okay? All right. Hemon says fossil evidence of the theory. Yeah, so fossil evidence, right? Now, here, if we go back, this is going to be an easy one. So here we have fossil evidence, okay? And so a lot of you will say, okay, that was an easy one. Good, I got that. IV, here we go, IV, boom, and you got it right. It's in your answer key. Now, this is, if some of you are skimming and scanning, this is one that you might get correct, okay? But the other ones, you won't. Remember that the exam is testing level from beginner, like a band 1, band 2 student, who's an absolute beginner, to somebody who is a band 9 and they're at a teacher's level of English. So they're basically a professor of English, if you will. That would be a band 9, an expert user of English. And this one is like a band 2, band 3 level question, because this one you can get from skimming and scanning, but I know that most of you need to get a band score of 6.5 or more. Many of you these days are looking for band scores 7 or more. And for that, you cannot rely on answering 1 or 2 questions by skimming and scanning. Not to mention that you won't be able to answer the other questions in the passage. Okay, so keep that in mind. But this was a fairly easy one. Okay, let's go to paragraph E. So again, read with me. The evidence for continental drift was discovered long before an explanation for it was found. It was during the 1960s that the theory of plate tectonics was developed. This new theory explained fully the nature of the Earth's crust, that it was broken up into many pieces that tended to smack into each other and pull apart from each other. In extreme cases, such as the Indian subcontinent, a plate's movement can be so severe that it causes massive mountains to be formed when the plate hits another. This is precisely what happened over the past millions of years with the Indian plate colliding with the Eurasian plate. In the process creating the Himalayas, which include the tallest mountain on Earth, Mount Everest. Okay, what is this paragraph about? So what's the subject of this paragraph? Okay, it's another way that you can ask it from yourself, this crucial question, is what is the subject of this paragraph? Okay, and then give a concise answer. So what is the subject? Bhumi says the crashing of plates into each other. I don't think so, Bhumi. I don't think so. I think it's a little bit more specific than that. Yeah, Parmar, I think that's too simple, the collapsing of two plates. Okay, it talks about the Eurasian plate and the Indian plate smashing into each other, but that's just an example for what it's saying before. So Hemant says it's the tectonic plate concept or tectonic movement concept and theory and how it affects geography. Saminder, good. So how tectonic plates work. Or an easier way, Saminder, to say it is the theory of tectonic plates. Okay, so the 1960 theory of tectonic plates or movement. That would be my answer to that question. What's the subject of this paragraph? Okay, and what is the closest match here? So if we look at these choices, which one do you think matches closest to the theory of tectonic plates or movements is clearly identified in 1960. Okay? So Mahesh says it's the movements of the plates. It's not bad. Elena, yeah, I can see your chat. Absolutely. So Preeti and Hemant are agreeing that this is a mechanism to match this theory is found. Yeah, the mechanism itself, right? The mechanism, meaning the system, okay? Remember when I paraphrased that? I said system. So the system here is the tectonic plates or tectonic movement is the system. So tectonic plates movement match the theory of continental drift, right? That would be another way to say that. Tectonic plates theory matches the continental drift theory, okay? Very nice. Okay, good job. So this question, compared to the last one, is much more challenging. This is like a band 7, band 8 difficulty question because there's no skimming and scanning here. So you won't see these words necessarily in that paragraph, not like with fossil evidence for the last one. So this is a much more challenging question where you have to really understand what the paragraph is about and then choose the right answer. So do you see the differences between a band 2, band 3 level question versus a band 7 plus level question? Do you see that? Do you see how the IELTS works with, it looks like, oh, maybe they're all the same difficulty, but they're not. This one, because you can just play go fish and match the words, it's much easier. This one, not so much. Okay? Do you see how that works with the IELTS and the difficulty levels of questions? Okay? It's really important to understand that so that you know what to do to get more questions correct. Okay? Because a lot of teachers teach strategies for the band 5 level. Okay? Skimming, scanning, so skim reading is a strategy for the band 5 level. Okay? Critical thinking is for the 7 plus level. Does that make sense? I'm paraphrasing. So if you only need a band 5, 5.5, maybe a 6, skim reading could work for you a little bit. But if you need something that's higher, like a band 7 or more, you have to rely much more on critical thinking and paraphrasing. So different strategies are effective for different band levels. For our courses on our websites, ahelp.com and glshelp.com, we're focusing on band 6, 5, 7 and higher strategies. So that's why we really advise students not to focus on these kinds of strategies. Okay? All right. Let's keep going. Here we go. Next one. Yeah, exactly, Preeti. You have to have a much more holistic understanding for that paragraph, and you have to use much more critical thinking for that paragraph. Okay. All right. Paragraph F. Read with me. Plate tectonics are not only responsible for mountains and the movement of the continents, they are also responsible for volcanoes. Volcanoes usually result from one of two plate configurations. They form in places where the plates are colliding or where the plates are pulling apart. In the first case, the plates come together, push against each other, causing friction and heat, which allows some of the crust material to melt, resulting in liquid magma. Because magma is less dense than the surrounding rock, it ends up rising to the surface, where it becomes a volcano. An example of this type of volcano is the famous Mount Vesuvius, which destroyed the city of Pompeii in 79 CE. The second type of volcano comes from divergent plates. These types tend to be underwater, as in the mid-oceanic ridges. Volcanic islands, such as Iceland and Hawaii, were formed by underwater volcanic activity, eventually spewing off enough matter to form land above water. Students, very simply, in one word, what is this paragraph about? Just one word, okay? What is this paragraph about? And when you see a word repeat over and over again, it's a good idea that that's what the paragraph is about. It's the right idea. So what is this paragraph about? Yeah, thank you, Saminder. Roshni all capitals. It's about volcanoes. Yeah, volcanoes. Elena, one word. There we go. Parmar, even a little volcano emoji. Very nice. Okay, not even a word, just a picture. Absolutely. So let's go back here. And which one of these matches the concept of volcanoes? So which one is the best answer? Mahesh says that's one. That's the one where he said violent eruptions, magma, lava, and new islands. Yeah, so that is volcanoes. So that's what I would choose because I paraphrased this as a volcano, right, in the beginning. So I know that it's about volcanoes. They're not going to say volcano here. That would be too easy. Now, if somebody's just skim reading, right, so if somebody's just looking through the text and matching words, they might choose the destruction of Pompeii because they see destruction of Pompeii and then they're skim reading the passage and they've wasted a lot of time before they get here, but they finally get here and then they skim read destroyed the city of Pompeii and they go, aha, it's destroyed the city of Pompeii, and they get it wrong, okay? Because yeah, exactly. So Hemant says it's a trap. It's a trap for lower level students who are just skim reading and matching words. Okay? So you're right, Hemant. It's a trap question. The correct answer is number one. It's about volcanoes. And what is a volcano? A volcano is violent eruptions, magma, lava, and new islands like Hawaii and Iceland. Okay? That's right, Boomy. Pompeii is just an example. It's not the subject of the paragraph. So you have to be very careful with these, okay? The IELTS it would be too easy if all you had to do was just match words in the paragraph, okay? So paragraph F, absolutely number one, okay? So you put that in there and you'll get it correct. So be really careful, Parmar, okay? All right, last paragraph. Here we go, students, together. Of course, there's one final important result of plate tectonics, earthquakes. Earthquakes are perhaps the most terrifying of all natural disasters. They are practically invisible. They happen below the Earth's surface and have devastating results. Earthquakes happen along fault lines, places where two plates are colliding, diverging, or slipping past each other. In the case where the two plates are attempting to slip past each other, the most devastating earthquakes can occur. This is because friction does not allow the plates to pass each other until sufficient energy to counteract the resistance has been built up. So the two plates rub against each other for centuries or millennia until one day they finally slip. This slip is what results in a sudden catastrophic earthquake. If this slip occurs in the ocean underneath the Earth's surface, it can cause a massive tidal wave known as a tsunami. If this slip occurs directly beneath a major city, massive destruction will result. There are many such cities at risk of these earthquakes. many of them along what is known as the Ring of Fire surrounding the Pacific Ocean. These cities include Tokyo, San Francisco, Vancouver, and Santiago. Understanding plate tectonics reveals that it is not only a question of if these major cities will get hit by an earthquake, it is only a question of when. Okay, what is this paragraph about? In one word. Okay, again, in one word, what is this paragraph about? You want to be concise, students. So in one word, what is this paragraph about? And here's a good example of where you really want to think first and then search. Saminder says earthquakes. Elena says earthquakes. Very good, Elena. So Elena, here's your chance to shine. Okay, follow this logic. Okay, earthquake. And which one matches earthquake? So which one of these options matches earthquakes? I don't think destruction, Preeti Parmar. I think earthquakes is more accurate here. The destruction's caused by earthquakes. Okay, so it's earthquakes. Bhumi, it's not about tsunamis, it's about earthquakes. The word earthquake repeats from the beginning to the end. Okay? Which one of these matches earthquake? So Bhumi, Elena say the invisible threat. Absolutely. Another way to say earthquake is invisible threat. We don't see it coming, right? Nobody goes, oh, look, there's an earthquake coming at us. Careful. Jump out of the way. Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. That could be a car accident, but definitely not an earthquake. When an earthquake happens, it just happens, right? Nobody goes, hey, look, there it comes. Careful. Look at that earthquake coming over there. So that doesn't happen. So invisible threat, so VIII. Okay. Yeah, that's right, Hemant. So the Ring of Fire is a trap, just like the destruction of Pompeii. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so you have to be really careful. So here, the correct answer is VIII, 8, and that's it. Students, again, remember the correct steps to list of headings questions. Okay? Number 1, read and paraphrase them before the passage. Number 2, answer each one after you read each paragraph. Number 3, think about the answer first on your own. Keep it simple. Keep it concise, meaning not 2 sentences, but just 3-4 words. Okay? Number 5, find the closest match from the list of headings. Once you do this, you'll get much better scores on these types of questions. That's it for now, for today. And tomorrow I will host a Task 1 class for members. But coming up in 30 minutes, we'll have a listening practice and strategy session, parts 1 and 2. So hopefully most of you will join for that. I really hope that you've taken away a lot of great ideas from this lesson. Make sure to practice, okay? So I've showed it to you. It seems it might be easy, but it really does take practice. So make sure to practice, okay? All right, students, much love. Hopefully see you in 30 minutes. Bye for now.